And we are live. Good evening, everybody. As you can see behind me, I'm standing outside Therme Cafe tonight. Now, I decided not to go outside tonight just for the sake of it. I asked you a few weeks ago. I said, "Do you want me to go out and about or stay in the room?" And I had mixed reactions, and I've decided I'd probably do 1 in 4 outside, unless I'm in Pattaya or Hua Hin or something like that. It's just, the sounds here, the quality of the video is good. I can have a beer, I can do the competitions, and I just, I think I prefer doing the in-room ones at the moment, because somebody actually wrote to me and said, "Look, there's no point in being in Thailand if you're going to sit in a room and do live streams." But then somebody else wrote in and said, "There's no point doing live streams if they're going to cut out all the time because the signal's bad." And I agree with that comment, actually. How many have we got in? Over 100 already. So good to have you in, guys. Let's say hi to everyone first. I've got 3 competitions for you tonight. I've got the Manga Minute, and I've got some other bits and pieces. I just want to tell you really, really quickly a funny story. I've been doing this for 3 years now, and you get all sorts of complaints. You've got to have thick skin to be a vlogger. And I thought I'd heard everything. I thought I'd heard complaints about big boobs, small boobs, girls on thumbnails, stories too long, stories too short, everything like that. Do you know what somebody complained about? You won't believe it. I swear to God. Somebody wrote to me and said they don't like it because my glasses are broken. You see how they kind of lop to one side slightly? I have ordered a couple of other pairs from Lazada now, but he actually wrote to me and complained that my glasses upset him because they're not straight. But, anyway, it made me order 2 more glasses. So anyway, I hope you'll be happy when they come. Right. Thank you for Peter Capshup, straight in there with a super chat. Good evening, Peter and all. I'm enjoying my stay in Jomtien as I did in Hua Hin. Peter, yeah, hi. Hua Hin, both have nice beaches and excellent food choices. Looking forward to a great stream and all the best. Personally, Peter, I think there's more to do in Hua Hin. Jomtien's nice. It's got a nice beach and everything. It's good for walking. But as far as nightlife, I know you can go into Pattaya, but I just prefer Hua Hin to Jomtien. If you're talking about Pattaya, that's something else. And thank you to Jeff Say for that super chat. Every week, Jeff, you're very generous. Something for the beverage fund. And you're probably wondering what I'm on tonight. I've changed beers again. Oh, you can't see it because it's green, that's why. But I think you can just about make out the Chang there. I've changed the Chang because it's slightly cheaper. Right, okay. And I want to say hi to Jason. Jason goes under the name Geezers. He's from Haringey in London, where I was born. And he's staying quite close to where I am now. If you're watching this, Jason, or you watch it later, I have replied to your email. I was supposed to meet Bangkok Pat tomorrow, but he's cancelled now because he's lost a piece of his equipment. He's got to go back and look for it. So maybe we can rearrange something else as a meeting, as it were. Right, okay, so who else we got in? D in Isan. How you doing, D? Good to have you in. Crypto Chris, hi. Alpharetta Jim, how you doing? Leeds, good evening to one and all. Then, bet that I'll be outside. It's a good job you didn't lay money on that. I'll put that up on screen. Look, you would have lost that bet today. I don't think people really mind if the stream's from outside. What I like about the outside streams is if you get the opportunity to to kind of bump into Thai people outside, and they're quite happy to do so. I had a couple of good sessions in Pattaya with that girl on the beach, Joy, and then when I went to Jomtien, there was that lady who gave me a free bracelet. I don't know if you remember that. I was sat outside the bank, very hot that night, but they're very good. But the thing is, I went down to Asia Teak 3 weeks ago, and it was just such a terrible signal. And it took me half an hour to get back here. And I don't think there's nothing wrong with the in-room streams. I'll do the outside streams when there's something to actually go out and do it for, not just for the sake of hanging around, as it were. I've done the walks and the Sukhumvit, the Soi 4, the Nana, and all the rest of it. Okay, hi to Simon Mays. Right, greeting mongers. Let me just put your picture up there, because you've got a picture of David Hasselhoff there. And the reason I'm going to put that up there is because somebody told me a David Hasselhoff joke today, and it took me a little while to get it. He told me, and I was thinking, well, what's funny about that? So I'll tell it to you, and you can tell me what you think of it. So basically, I know it's not that funny, but I just didn't understand it at first. So David Hasselhoff goes into a bar, and the barmaid, the lady behind the bar, she says, "Oh, good evening, Mr. Hasselhoff. What would you like to drink?" And he says, No, don't be so formal. Just call me Hoff." And she says, "Oh, okay, no problem. No hassle then." Wasn't that funny, was it? But anyway, okay, let's get rid of that. Thai Billy Boy, how you doing? Good evening, Peter. Hi, everyone. Martin Ryder, as usual, good to have you in. You might notice I'm speaking a little bit quiet because I'm in the room, and I found out this No, what happened to the signal there? I've got a fantastic signal. It just cut out for a second. Yeah, hi to Franco. Hopefully Damon's in there somewhere in the background, or he'll be here shortly. Right, who else we got? No name. Let me put that up there. Peter, really enjoying those short videos, especially the sunset in the park. Yeah, they're easy to do. I think I'm going to start doing some more of those, because that's just a case of, you see something interesting. It's a 1 minute short, like you can be on a beach and see something interesting. But yeah, I'll carry on doing those. Charles Saunders, good evening, Peter and everyone. Crypto Chris, Thai Billy Boy, gone back there. Black Bolt, how are you doing? Good to have you in the stream tonight. Delayed Dave, okay. God, it's getting hot now. Let me just turn this down a bit. Damien sent me the temperatures compared to England. It was -4 in the UK and it was 34 here. So exactly 30 degrees different. Just sometimes the aircon gets so cold, it's like you can't get it down. It won't go like, well, it won't make the room warmer. You have to turn it off. Right, Dutch Frank, hi all. Danny Boy, evening all. Ellesmere, hello. I'm right on time. Cough, cough. Yeah, Black Belt again. Martin Blunston, good evening to everybody from a cold London. Okay, well, I won't wind you up about the heat here. You know how hot it is in Thailand. Still very, very busy, when all the restaurants are full, all the hotels are very, very busy. We're getting towards the end of January now, so I don't know how much longer it's going to stay. It starts to ease off now. High season generally kind of eases off towards the end of January, and it starts to get hotter here as well. Clive Allen, happy. It's Chinese New Year. Put that up there. Hang on, what's happening to that? Clive Allen, hi, happy Chinese New Year from me in the Philippines. Yeah, it's Chinese New Year. Talking of Chinese New Year, let me just read out. I've just made notes because I'm aware that if I flick from screen to screen, the quality goes. So, did you read about there was a Chinese woman, apparently a very rich Chinese woman, coming to Thailand, and she had an unofficial VVIP escort down to Pattaya. I was just reading about it in the Bangkok Post. You can read the full story, but apparently thousands of baht were paid out to somebody, and you had these 2 or 3 motorcycles with sirens blaring, lights flashing, and she had basically a VVIP. I don't know what a VVIP is. I know what VIP is, but they said VVIP. She had this VIP treatment from the airport all the way down to Pattaya with these police bikes, lights and sirens. Apparently, it wasn't officially sanctioned. It was all sort of money under the table. So there's a bit of an investigation going on that one. So that'll be interesting to see how that comes out. Donald Trump, how you doing? Quick salute to you, sir. Who's this now? Latha Malkia. Hi, Peter, and hello, everyone. My #1 YouTube channel. Take care, Peter. Always happy. Yeah, thank you very much. I bumped into I didn't bump in. I had lunch with one of the guys who comes on. He's got the most difficult name that you can pronounce. He's from, I think he told me he's from, was it Holland or somewhere like one of those kind of countries, not Denmark. I think it's Holland. And his name, I can never pronounce it. And he invited me for lunch, and we went to Terminal 21, and he likes to eat in the is it HK? They put this kind of barbecue pot in the middle of the table, hot water, and you put your vegetables in and beef and all the rest of it. And it was really, really good. But the bill come to 1,500 baht, and I says, look, I appreciate you inviting me for lunch, but I'm not going to let you stand for 1,500 baht. So I gave him 750 towards it. If I'd had a burger and chips and it was 180 baht, no problem. I'd let him buy me lunch, fair enough. But 1,500 baht, that would have been a bit not very nice. But I said to him, you know what, your name is so hard to pronounce. And he says, yeah, I love it. He says, every week I watch you in the live stream and you struggle with my name. I'll tell you if he comes in later, I'll point it out. Okay, Paul Hoskin in the house tonight. How you doing, Paul? That joke that I just told Paul, that was on a par with your jokes, I think. Donald Trump, we've read that. Right, Jason, I've just given you a mention. I don't know if you heard that. Good evening, Peter. North London in the house. 10 days to go, and I'm in Laos. I'll repeat what I said 10 minutes ago, Jason. I did answer your email. Bangkok Pat has cancelled tomorrow. I was going to meet him at 2 p.m. because he's lost some equipment, so I'll meet him another day. But if you're about daytime's better for me, Jason. So you can email me back, and maybe I'll send you my line ID. Okay, right. Rumble, how you doing? Christopher Tate, hi Peter. I hope you're well and had a good week. Yeah, I've had a pretty good week. The problem I'm having here, let's have a slurp of this. The problem I'm having here at the moment, and I don't know how I'm going to fix this, but the problem I'm having is I can't get out of bed because Let me just say thank you to Peter, and then I'll tell you what about this. Good evening, Peter, and all. I'm enjoying my. Oh, we read that one out, but you've given me a nice super chat. Thank you, Peter. I think I read that out already, didn't I? Anyway, but thanks again. Anyway, very generous. Okay, so the problem I'm having here in Thailand, which I didn't have in the UK, it's the only problem I'm facing here is I can't get out of bed in the morning. And what happens is when I was in the UK, I used to do a kind of school run, take disadvantaged children to school. So I got up at 7 o'clock every morning, had a cup of coffee, read the paper online. I left the house, I think it was about 8 o'clock, took these kids to school, and I was back home at 9:10 to walk Benji, and then my day would progress going on the PC or whatever I had to do with the house. And the problem here is I don't have to get up in the morning. There's no reason to get up. So what happens is, you know, I tell myself in the afternoon, I think, right, I'm not doing that again because this is ridiculous. You know, I'm missing out on half of the day here. You know, I'm getting up at some days I'm okay. I'm getting up at 9, 9:30, even 10. But I've had a few days where I don't get out of bed till sort of between 11 and 12. And it's just such a waste of time here, you know. But it's so hard. If you don't have a reason to get up, you know, I watch TV, I'm watching Netflix, I'll have a few beers most nights. You know, I go to bed. I'm getting older now, so I get tired. And then I wake up. It's not that I sleep till 11, but I might wake up at 8 o'clock or 8:30, go for a pee as you do. And I'm in bed and the air con's on and it's really comfortable. And you think, oh, this is nice. I don't want to get up. And you just drop off again. And it's really becoming a problem because, you know, I'm the sort of person who gets up early most mornings. I have a complete day. I plan my day, what I'm going to do. And then, you know, I generally got to bed 11:30, 12 o'clock. That's what I did in the UK, but I'm having an issue here. And I keep telling myself every day, you shouldn't do that, Peter. You know, you've got to train yourself. But it's really, really hard. When you wake up and you don't have to get out of bed, you don't have to get up for a job or anything like that. It is hard. It is hard. So I don't know how I'm going to get around that. If anybody's got any ideas. Black Bolt, thumbnail so nice, you did it twice. Yeah, that rhymes. Yeah, we said hi to you, Franco. Good to have you in. Kinok, looking good, Peter. Keep the fitness in your manga vest. Yeah, somebody, you get these sarcastic comments. I did that little short in the park, and I said, "This is where I exercise every night." You know, and someone wrote in and said, "You exercise?" You know, like trying to be a bit funny with me. But yeah, just over here where I don't know why I'm pointing. It's not like you're sitting next to me, but there's a park. I call it the Queen Surrogate Park, but it's not called the Queen Surrogate Park. I know the name of it, I just can't pronounce it. But it's got a 1 mile running track around it, and it's really nice. About 5 o'clock, I did three rounds the night before. I did one last night. I don't go every day. If I'm going out and I'm going around malls and I'm walking up the BTS steps and getting a lot of exercise, I won't bother then. But you know, I get a lot of days where, because I'm in a nice apartment, I've got a kitchen, I've got everything I need here. I don't always go out, you know, so I don't go out every night boozing, that for drinking, that's for sure. You know, and I'll be working on the PC all afternoon, and you know, it's just, you think to yourself, well, you know, I need to get out, and you go out, it's warm, yes, but I have the wife beaten vest on, and I do a few laps around the park and come back and have a shower, and it's great. Cook dinner here, had chicken and mushroom pie yesterday, mashed potatoes, as you do. Right, Thailand fan again. Hi, Peter and gang, hope you're all well back in Thailand, February 8th. Well, it will be a bit warmer there when you get back, Thailand fan. Right, Paul Hoskins, can we have a manga 2 minutes? Well, it's really hard to get the clips, Paul. I know you're probably only joking, but them clips I put up of the girls dancing and what have you. I have got a new manga minute tonight, but you know, you won't believe how long it takes. I'll do it shortly, and then because I'll do it again at the end because it takes so long to put together, and it's only a minute or just over a minute. But what I've decided, if I have to get up to go for another beer, rather than put the picture of the girl sitting on the buffalo, I'll use. Do you remember the girl in the kind of pinkish bikini who kept winking? It was a kind of loop. That'll be my new kind of filler. But let me do the manga minute now, the new one, and then I'll do it again towards the end. Get some mileage out of it, as it were. probably not the best Manga Minute I've done, but it's a new one anyway, and I'll do it again. I'll put it on again at the end. Right, Black Bolt says, right, there's a big, where's that gone? Having some glitches in the system tonight. Right, there's a big football game on today, Peter. Well, you know, I'm not a football fan, so I don't know about it, but that probably explains fairly low numbers tonight. And Franco, do you remember I was telling you about private messages? I've sent you one, so if you want to test it, it does work. Crypto Chris, no point sitting in a room if you're on holiday, but you live there now, okay? Yeah, very true. John Campbell. Hi, Peter. Just back home after starting drinking at the pub for lunch. We met a local based YouTuber and then a few bars in Soy 80. Okay. Yeah, I met Phil in the pub a few weeks ago. I was in Pattaya. I might go down to Pattaya on Thursday, actually, because there's nothing stopping me, you know, and the bus is only 131 baht. Talking of buses, that leads me into another little story. I've got my notes all here. You know, I always say, I mean, Apple must be pissed off on me now because I haven't spoken to her for a while. But I was promoting her, but now I'm saying take the bus; it's so much cheaper. You know, when I go down, like I went to Hua Hin on the bus and back. It was 200 baht each way. Be really careful, guys, because they do try and rip you off. Even the National Bus Company. When I went down there, it's a medium-sized bus. I think it fits 21. It's 21 seats with the driver, so 20 passengers. And I got the bus from Edgamai to Hua Hin. It was 200 baht. Well, when you come back, you catch it at Blueport because you don't really want to go to the southern bus terminal. No, sorry, the western southern bus. You've got one on this side of town near Sukhumvit. It's at Edgamai actually, and the other one's it's quite far away. Used to be at the Victory Monument, but they've stopped vans going there now. But they tried to kind of rip me off on the way back because I went down on the bus. It was 200 baht. Sorry about this, itchy hooter again. It was 200 baht, and you have to catch it at Blueport to come back. If you go to the other Soy 51, it's closed. At COVID, it hasn't opened up yet in the minibus station's closed. So I had to go to Blueport, which is a mall, and they stop on the side and there's a lady selling tickets. And I said, I want to go to Edgamai. Yeah, no problem. She said, but you'll have to buy 2 tickets. And I said, what do you mean 2 tickets? I'm by myself. And she says, well, you need another seat to put your suitcase on. So I said, well, I came down. I said, I come in this broken English and broken Thai and English. I do speak a little bit Thai. So, but I basically said to her, look, I came down in that very bus, the same bus, and I put my suitcase behind the front seat on the floor. The driver told me to put it there. And she didn't argue. She just went, oh, okay, then 200 baht. And that was it. So don't let them charge you for that extra seat. But the other story I was going to tell you about the minibuses, do you know, I always say to you, I don't like the minibuses because I think they're dangerous. You know, the little Toyota minibuses, they cram, you know, people in there. And, you know, I just don't like them. I think they're dangerous. Some of the drivers drive like maniacs, and there's been a lot of people over the years killed in them minibuses because they just, you know, they drive like idiots. At least in the larger buses, you've got some protection. You know, it's a big old bus, and they don't weave in and out like the small minibuses. And there's a very sad story came out of, where was it? It was Karat. One of the small towns or villages in Karat. There was a minibus. One of these minibuses had 11 people in it. He didn't say where they were from, but 11 people in a minibus. It went into the central reservation, and because it's got a gas tank, it burst into flames, and it actually said all 11 people, and the driver, they burnt to death. Okay, they're in this van on its side. It catches fire, and they burnt to death. You know, I just, you know, I'm not a very good promoter of these vans, but I just don't like them. If I won't go to Pattaya in a minibus, you know, I'll go in a blue bus or the 21-seater bus. They're fine because you've got a bit of bulk to them, but the minibuses, no. Very sad story. You know, people going to see family or friends, whatever, and killed just like that. And there have been foreigners killed as well. I've read stories where these minibuses going down to down south to all these different places, they're flipped, you know, gone off the road, driver's on his mobile phone or he's looking at a route on his mobile phone, something's pulled out, he hasn't seen it, bang, you know, minibus is on its back. Right, hope that's cheered you up. Right, who's this? US ATV 2020. Okay, hey, how you doing? Right, Andrew's Real World. How are you, young Andrew? Right, Hi, Peter. Hope you're well. Only another month until I get out on my travels again. Yeah, it's quite a schedule you got there, Andrew. I hope you're going to make some videos. Andrew's got his own channel. Andrew put my book together for me. You know, the book I've got on Amazon. It was Andrew who did it for me because I'm hopeless. Yeah, good to see you in the chat. I don't think I'm getting as good at pool as I told you because I've just not been going out, Andrew. I've been when I first got here, I went out a lot because it's a novelty, and I was playing pool every night at the Swan Inn, and I was getting quite good. And you know what? I haven't been out for. I went to since I come back from Hua Hin. I've basically stayed in, you know, and like, really boring. But I might go to Pattaya on Thursday because the bus is very, very cheap. Right, Dutch Frank, how are you? No Strings, good afternoon, Peter. How are you doing? Michael Ward, Sweaty Cub. How far behind am I on the what was that? 11:04. I'm about 15 minutes behind. So what I'll do, yours travel, Steve, how are you doing? Jan Myers, greetings from. Let's whiz through these, and then I'll go down to the later ones. Clive, good to see you in the stream. We haven't had you in for a while. I think you were in last week, though, weren't you? Hey, Peter, bad timing on my part. I'm just off to my parents for a roaster again. Laugh out loud. Yeah, it's a funny old time, isn't it, to do a stream? It's basically just gone 4 o'clock. What time is it now? It's about 4:20 in the UK, and people aren't, you know, people don't settle down to kind of after 7:30. But I can't wake up at 2, 3 in the morning. I know Trevor used to do them at 5 in the morning, but he's an early bird, and you heard my comments about waking up early in the morning. It's just so difficult. And Ash Patel, hi Peter, how you going to be celebrating Songkran this year? Usual thing, mate. Lots of water. Okay, yeah. Danish bacon, don't hassle the Hoff. Okay. Right, who else we've got? Who haven't said hello to? Black Bolt says Frozen. I'm surprised at that because I've got a really good connection here, but that must have been 15 minutes ago. Martin Ryder 7 in Colchester tonight. Don't come back until March. Yeah, I've actually. Here he is. This is a guy. You see, George Van. If you've just come into the stream, I was talking about you. I said we'd had lunch. I give you half towards the lunch because it was quite an expensive meal. Very nice. But I was telling everybody like you like it that I struggle with your name. So I'm just going to call you George, like English George, Georg. Okay, so you won't be able to laugh anymore. But yeah, good to have you in. And it was very nice to meet you in Terminal 21 the other day. Very, very interesting. Right, okay, who else we got? Broadcast Dave, how you doing? Let's see, Steve James. Steve James says, Trevor, I love your content. Well, you think you're on the wrong channel, actually. No Strings. Hi, all. VVIP is very, very important person. Okay. Well, she was very, very important because she paid lots of money. Voldam Wonderland. Peter, is there still a lot going on at Lumpini Stadium? I don't get down to Lumpini because the park I use is the one at the back of the Queen Surrogate Centre, but they do have concerts and stuff going on, and you always know because I went to the I was on the train. I was going somewhere on the on the BTS, and it's just heaving, absolutely heaving. You're full, and you get off, and the platform is, you know, and you can hear all these, you know, the ties on microphones. It's always over the top, isn't it? Very loud, and you can hear all that, and you can hear music, and yeah, they do a lot of stuff. If I've understood your question correctly, yeah, I know you're here. I just mentioned you, right? No Name, Alone in Bed. That okay. Crypto Kiss Card, go to Nana Plaza until 3 and then wake up at noon. God, it's expensive, isn't it? You know, if you went out every night, when, like people say, when you come here for a holiday, you can do things like that, you know, because you've got your holiday money and you've always got a bit of backup in the bank. But I kind of live here now. But hang on, I came out here 9th of October. I can't believe I've got to go back at the end of next month. The good news is that the people buying my house have now signed the contract. I've sent the paperwork off from here on Monday, so my solicitors will have it. My wife has to sign it. But basically, I'm going back towards the end of February, and I don't think I'll be in the UK very long. You know, I'm going to put a skip on the drive. She can take what she wants. The rest goes in the skip. I'll post a box of personal belongings here, and that's it. I'm basically well set up here. But it's just, I just don't want the pain of going back, you know, going back to the UK in the winter. I don't think I've even got a coat with me. I think I've got one of those windbreaker things. No Strings. Bed is bad for your mental health. You need incentive. Get volunteer. No, it's not that I don't have enough to do. I don't need to do volunteer work. I can work on YouTube. I can produce more videos. I can research. You know, I can go out and do stuff. It's not. I haven't got an issue with not having things to do. My issue is I'm laying in bed. I wake up and I think, oh, this is nice. I don't want to wake up. That's my problem. I need something where I have to get up. You know, where you know, some reason where if I don't get up in the morning, I'll have a problem. Right. Mac, make getting up earlier a challenge and a topic for the video. Yeah, could do, could do. Stephen Roberts, hi Stephen, good to have you in. Mac, make getting up earlier a challenge and a topic. Oh, I just read that, didn't I? Yeah, I will get over it because I'm a very determined person. So I'm still kind of 50-50 holiday living here. I'm not 100% living here because I know I'm going back. I don't think I think I'll be back for less than a month and I'll be out here, and I think it's going to be really, really emotional. I mean, at the moment, I'll tell you how I feel because I did say that I'd tell you what emotions. And by the way, to the person who took the piss out of me wearing this, right, I'm not going to get rid of it because the sound quality is absolutely excellent. I paid 650 baht for this. It's a Chinese something or other, and you know the one I normally wear with the two and the little mic here. The first time I wore this, I had that on for half an hour. Then I put this on, and it's like going from 1970s mono to HD. I mean, this is a really good crystal sound, and I can hear things as well. So the way I feel at the moment, obviously I've been out here since the 9th of October, and mentally I said I'd take you through the journey. I don't want to sort of discuss too much really personal stuff while I'm still living in the UK. But I was thinking about it, you know, mentally I'm still in a kind of mood. When I used to come out here on holiday or come out to make videos or whatever, my family were at home and I'd be here, then I knew they were there, and you know, I was paying the bills. I knew they'd be there when I get back, and I kind of half feel like that now, you know, because I've still got my house, they're still living in it, I'm still paying the bills, so I haven't kind of faced that yet. But I think once the house is gone, you know, and she's got what she wants, we've done the deal, and I've got my bag packed, and I come back here, it's going to be really difficult, emotional, you know, because it's like, it's the start of something new, isn't it? You know, like the house is gone. You know, I've still got my daughters, they'll come out here and visit me and everything, but you know, it's just, it's going to be emotionally challenging. It's going to be tough, and I think I'm going to struggle with it, but I've got to get through it, haven't I? So, you know, when the time comes, I'll let you know. Right, Jim Journey's Pacific Northwest. That will raise your heartbeat. Okay. Don Rose, I'm arriving February the 9th from California. Any advice on small gifts for bar girls or caddies? Will be golfing via the bar groups in Pattaya. Unfortunately, Don, I'm going to tell you something that you might not like, but this is true. I once had a guy say to me, I'm going to take my, he had a bar girlfriend. She was with other customers, but when he came back, she stopped work and she was with him for a couple of weeks. He'd go back and they'd keep FaceTime and keep writing, but she was working, you know, but they were good friends. And he said to me one day, he said, oh, her phone's really crappy. I'm going to buy her a second-hand Samsung. And I said, you'll get more mileage by not buying her anything than buying her a second-hand phone. And he couldn't understand it. And for the Thai, like the bar girls, if you buy them a phone, they want a brand new, latest, all singing and dancing, the best of the best. And they don't think of it the same way as we do. You give them a second-hand phone, for them, they'll throw it at the wall. So let me try and answer your question, John. Small gifts. They don't really appreciate small gifts. You know, for them, it's all about money and gold. That's what they want. You know, I suppose, you know, in theory, you can buy them a bar of chocolate and they'll, you know, I don't know. But there's nothing that's going to impress them where they're going to think, oh, he's a real nice guy because he bought me a box of chocolates. They just don't think like that, honestly. You buy them 2 baht of gold, you'll be like, oh, this guy's, you know, we're in business now. But, you know, when it comes to small gifts, I'm not talking about regular Thai girls, I'm talking about bar girls, okay? They don't really appreciate non-monetary gifts. I'll give you another example. There was a girl I knew who a guy was dating, and she wanted him to buy her a handbag, and she wanted a nice handbag. So he was walking around this mall and he was looking at these handbags, and he found one, and it was a branded one. I can't remember the figure, but let's just say at the time it was like 15,000 baht. And he sent a photograph and he said, look, there's this one. Do you like this? This looks exactly what you were telling me about, but it's 15,000 baht. And she turned around and says, no, better to buy gold then. So in other words, in her mind, you know, if you're going to spend that sort of money, you spend it on gold, because gold gives you face, you can wear it, and also you know, it's redeemable. It's a currency, isn't it? So you can get cash back. So yeah, I can't really help you on that one too much, Don. I don't know about the caddies. I don't play golf. Maybe they've got a different mentality, but the bar girls certainly not. Right, Ricardo, Toby Price. It looks like the tailors near Robinson's Shop department store on Sukhumvit Road. Well, that's behind me there. If I go, hang on. That's Therme. If you got where the people are standing, the stairs go down, and that's you know, the most famous freelancer bar in in Pattaya. Right, Damon, glad to have you in, mate, because I know you've been doing your bits and your pieces today. I've decided, Damon, I'm going to buy a brand new Honda Click when I come back. They're cheap here. They're 1,500 baht as opposed to 1,500 baht. They're 1,500 pound, about 1,800 US dollars, as opposed to 3,000 pound or $3,500 in the UK. Okay, so I'm going to buy a brand new one when I get back. Damon knows what that's all about. Right, Yoss says hi to Damon. I'm way behind in the comments now. D and Nissan, I said hi to you. D, how you doing? Richard Harris, it's yeah, okay. Put that up there. You are correct, of course. Bamboo, hey Peter, Lumpini is the more superior park. Yeah, and you get a lot more shade in Lumpini. But the thing is, it's not perfect for me to go to, because this park at the Queen Surrogate Centre is a 5-minute walk for me. Literally, I go out my front door of my building. I can access it through Soi 10 or Soi 8 through the church. You know, and I'm living fairly close by, so I can actually go there. It takes me 5 minutes to get there, and I'm actually in the park. Lumpini, I have to get, you know, on the back of a motorcycle. It's not really walkable, you know. It's a bit far, and you got the traffic and everything. But you have got, it is a nicer part. Lumpini, you've got all the foliages growing up. I actually seen crocodiles in the Queen's. I call it Queen Surrogate Park. It's not called that, but they have ponds. One of them's got massive turtles in it, but the one in the corner, I looked and thought, what are they? Is that snakes? Bloody crocodiles, you know, in a public park. No fence or nothing, you know, just crocodiles in a park. Why not? Toby Price, crashing Karat today, some type of bus. 12 dead. Yeah, I did. I've mentioned that already, Toby. That was in Karat. It actually burst into flames, and including the driver, they all burnt to death. Terrible. That's why I don't take minivans. Denis, and did you see 11? Oh, another one that everybody's mentioning now. D, you must have gone out and come back, because we did a whole piece on that. Boohoo, how you doing? Nice to see you in. Right, yours travels. Also, bad scooter crash a few hours ago in Krabi. Yeah, there's nothing new there though, is there? Yeah. Okay. Right. Okay. Let me put that up. That's a very good question. Right. So you put no strings. Are the drivers of the bigger buses more sensible? I think they are. There's a few reasons, right? One, in a minibus, it's small. It's kind of like a car. You can zip in and zip out and all the rest of it. So they do tend to floor it in those minibuses, and they're fast, right? The other very, very important thing, if they're not driving, they're not getting paid, those drivers, because they get paid a percentage. Whoever they might be owner drivers, so they'll get 11 people in there who are paying, I don't know, 500,000 baht each, you know, take out the fuel, and they've got that money. But if they're sitting around doing nothing, they're not making money. So of course they want to floor it, get down there, get you out, come back and take another lot, because they'll make more money. Makes sense, right? The bigger buses, I think I'm pretty sure they're on a salary from the bus company. It's a national bus company. You know, the blue buses, they have smaller 21 seaters as well, or 20 seaters, 19 maybe, I don't know, not important. But they're on a salary, so they're not so much in a rush. And when they go down there, they check in at stations on the way, like 1 or 2 stations. They stop and they go to they hand a card in, and there's a building there. It says like check station. But the other thing is, you're in a bus, and even the bigger buses, you know, you can't throw them around like you can the little buses. So they tend to not be they're not weaving in and out. They're not, you know, driving like crazy, and they're just more stable, aren't they? So they do drive a little bit faster. And 1 or 2 times I was kind of like, you know, but yeah, I feel quite safe in them. But the minibuses, I just won't take them. They just scare me to death, because there's been many times they've come off the road. You know, people have been killed, foreigners going down to Pattaya, all the rest of it. I just hope no minibus drivers are watching this. I'll get beat to death next time I get down there. Michael, leaving Pattaya tomorrow. Place is a cesspool. Used to love the place. Even when I was there in February, it went downhill. Too expensive, and ladies are poor, to say the least. I'm heading south. Phuket's very, very expensive if you're going down there. You know, Hua Hin's okay, but it's like Pattaya. You know, the quality has gone downhill a lot. You know what I'm talking about, right? But Pattaya is considerably cheaper. If you think Pattaya is expensive, you come to Bangkok for a while. I will say one thing though. I made a video when I first got here, and I did in this video. I was saying a lot of the things in Bangkok are very, very expensive now as compared to what they were pre-COVID. But there are still deals. That, you know, there's still, yeah. You go out to the entertainment venues at night. Yeah, they can be expensive. But I fancied getting myself a 55-inch HD flat screen TV from Tesco Lotus on Rama 4 there. And I went to look at, I've actually bought it, it's brilliant. I had the apartment supplied a 32-inch TV, which was okay. It was, the picture was okay. You know, the size was okay. But I went out and bought this 55-inch flat screen HD. When you watch it, it's like the person sitting in front of you. You know, it's so clear, and of course it's big, and it's great, and it's got Netflix and YouTube, everything built into it. It's an Android one. How much do you think I paid for it? £250, like $300. I paid 9,900 baht. So when you talk about Thailand being expensive, it is in the entertainment, but there's still a lot of stuff here that's still cheap. Taxis are still cheap if they put the meter on. The BTS is cheap. The metro, what do you call it? The MRT, that's very, very cheap. You know, Thai food on the in some of the smaller restaurants is quite cheap. So you know, it's not all doom and gloom. But I found Pattaya very, very cheap, and I'll give you an example of the difference between Pattaya and Bangkok. You go into a Thai restaurant here. There's a Thai restaurant I like very much. It's near Village Supermarket on Soi 33. It's very reasonable price. It's very clean. A lot of foreigners go in there. You'll get a plate of fried rice for 80 baht. That's good in Bangkok, you know. And but you know, you go into a Thai restaurant around here and you order 3 or 4 dishes. You're talking, some of the dishes are like 140 baht a dish, and they're only vegetables like morning glory. You're not, you know, it's not like a plate of clams or prawns. You know, and so you have that as 140 vegetables, and you have a chicken dish, another 140, and then some rice and a bit. Before you know it, you've got a 600-700 baht bill. You know, especially if there's two of you. But you know, in Pattaya, those same dishes, you're looking like around 50, 60, 70 baht a dish, as opposed to 120, 140. So you buy a meal, you're on your own. You get a meal with, say, 3 or 4 dishes in Pattaya. You're talking 200 baht plus a drink, okay? But up here, you know, it is a lot more expensive. And people often say to me, well, why do you live in Bangkok? Why don't you live in Pattaya? And there's several reasons for that. One, I wouldn't want to live in Pattaya full time, because it is a fun place to visit for a few days, but not to live in it. Secondly, there must be 10 YouTube channels based in Pattaya, so I don't want to compete with them. I don't want to do the same stuff as them. There's nothing I can film in Pattaya that hasn't been done already, okay? And third, is expensive as it can be, I like living in Sukhumvit. You know, it's a cosmopolitan city. It's the capital of Thailand. It's got everything you want. You can get everything here, and I just like living in Bangkok. I always have done. Glenn Hendricks, how are you doing? Okay, let's have a look who else we've got. Mac Pucklow. Got to be careful how I say that, haven't I? I'm a truck driver and I like listening to you. Okay, thank you, Matt. Seven Hills, hey there, Peter and chat. Just joined the stream. Yeah, hi. Ralph Tigers, then, how are you doing with your visa complications? Have you got around that yet? Thailand fan, I might come down this week. I haven't made up my mind yet, Ralph, because I was supposed to meet Bangkok Pat tomorrow. He's thrown the towel in now because he's lost some equipment, so he's cancelled. Tuesday, I'm meeting my Pacific Health, the insurance people. And then Wednesday, I'm going over to Simon's factory to do another video because some of my viewers invested in the, I don't want to say the word for YouTube, but you know what Simon's doing. So we've already had some people invest, and I want to go over to Simon's tomorrow and say, okay, look, you've had their money. Where is it? What have you done? Show us where you are. You know, he does send out emails regularly and tells people what's happening. But I want to go over and film it and say, right, so these guys who gave you the money, what have you done with it? What stage is it? Can you show us everything? And just film it and let people feel a bit comfortable that they haven't, like Simon's not on a yacht in the Bahamas, or he's not driving the latest X5 BMW, or he's not, you know, he's not wearing like 20 baht of gold, you know, and he's not. I went over there today, actually. He's living very, he doesn't touch any of that money, not at all. He's still doing a little bit of the container work, so, you know, that keeps him going. Right, Pete, the Australian nomad. Pete, yeah, how you doing? Right, Jason again. Yes, you're right about the white minibus. They are death traps. Well, they're normally silver, so, but I don't want to pick a point there with you, Jason. Yeah, yes, you're right about the white minibuses. They're death traps. They like to squeeze everybody in luggage and parcel. Yeah, and even Andrew from Andrew's Real World, he told me the same. He was in a minibus, and I think he said it had 8 seats or 9 seats, and they put 12 people in it. You know, and if you get the seat in the middle, and the people are sitting there with their luggage on their knees, You know, so you've got somebody sitting here, somebody maybe sitting on the floor, a couple of hippies on the floor. You're sitting there with your suitcase on your lap, and this guy's weaving in and out, braking hard. I mean, you don't come on holiday for that. Take the blue buses, guys. They go everywhere. Or take the train, more interesting. I was going to take the train from Hua Hin on a Saturday back here because I thought it would have made a nice video. But the problem is it's so convenient for me to get off at Edgarmeyer because the bus station is just about 100 meters away, 100 yards away from the BTS. And I can come out the bus station with my suitcase on wheels, get on the BTS. It stops at Nana. I get off at Nana. I live fairly close to Nana, and it's just so convenient. I didn't want to, you know, because I had a suitcase, I didn't want to make my way back from the train station. I was tired as well. Okay, right, here we go. It's pronounced Jorgivan. Well, that don't help me. That's even harder than the first one. No, it's George now. You are George. Sorry about that, but you're going to have to be George. Right. Right. Let's, blimey, we can go on 45 minutes. Let's do some funny stuff. Right. Who remembers this? You can almost feel the pain, can't you? It's a shame I couldn't leave the original track on there, but it's the same story. It's all copyrighted material. But I had to take off the original track and put that YouTube music over the top. But in the original, when she turns around and sees the two guys, she says, "Oh my God, oh my God." And it's so, it makes for a different watch. Okay, right. I'll do some more of that sort of stuff later on. Still got 3 competitions to go. I haven't done any yet. Right, Paul Hoy. Nothing to worry about. It's like riding a bike, and after a couple of hours, you probably will be riding a bike. Okay. Right, Martin Ryder. Get a massage girl to call at 8:30 a.m. She will make you get up in more ways than one. Yeah, I like the story that the young guy in the stories. Was it? I lost track of the day. Yesterday, the stories, and the young guy where he went down to the beach. They took him, 3 girls invited him to go on a weekend with him, and he said he was sleeping with one of the girls, but the girl had said, "Look, you know, no hanky panky. It's going to be purely a place," because she said, "You can stay in my room," and he said, "Well, I'll take the floor." And she says, no need. You can sleep in the bed with me, but no nonsense, right?" And he's a young guy, and he said it was really terrible. He said, "I was sleeping with a flagpole in my pants every night." I thought a very nice way to describe it. Okay, 4K chill vibes. The safest drivers in Thailand are the ones sitting in the back seat paying a fare. Okay, Saji. Chiang Mai sleeper train would be much more comfortable than a bus. Yeah. Never been on a sleeper train. They wouldn't be able to wake me up in the morning, would they? Train coming in the station, I'd still be sleeping. Right, Toby Price. On holiday and living here is very different. You get wise living here. Not by my own trumpet, Toby, but I think I'm already wise to Thailand. You know, I've been coming here a lot of years. I've lived here for years. There's nothing that I'm really learning, anything new, but it's just I'm starting again. It's quite hard. Frank the Tank, great name. A box of chocolates. Yeah, okay. Let's look. They love your new dress, mate. Yeah, okay. Bamboo Peter. I was surprised how many regular Thais have the latest iPhone. Well, it's all about face. You know, you get a girl in a bar. You know, she's got to send money to her family and everything, but it's all about face. You know, if in the West, if it was a girl, she didn't have much money, what would she do? She'd do the sensible thing. She'd go to like a second-hand shop. She'd look at the phone. She'd get the best she can for her budget. But it's not like that here. It's like you've got to have the latest iPhone or you don't have anything. And if you can't get the latest iPhone, you don't have anything. Because if you turn up at a bar with a second-hand, crappy-looking phone, they'll all, you know, and you'll lose face. It's just like that here, you know. And it's the same with the gold. If they meet a guy and the guy takes her to a gold shop and buys her, you know, couple of bar of gold. She goes into her bar, the eyes are like, wow, it's like radar. I was shocked at the price of gold. When I lived here, um, full time 25 years ago, I was a bit of a bling man. I had a Rolex, I had a 5 baht chain. They measure the gold in baht. They call it, it's not baht the money, it's baht the weight. So the big, thick, chunky chain was 5 baht. Okay. Well, when I bought the 5 baht chain back then, it was 25,000 baht. It was 5,000 baht per baht, as they weigh it. And I asked one of the girls the other day, I said, how much does gold cost now? And she said 35,000 baht for a baht of gold. And I was like, are you sure? And I went and checked it in Mabu Kong. That's like £800 or $1,000, for 1 baht of gold, a little thin chain. It is 24 karat to be fair, but it's a lot of money, a lot of money. I'll tell you what, let me just talk about something that I touched on in one of the stories. Okay, so sometimes guys will say, I've met this girl in a bar and she does seem different, but I'm not sure. I'd like to test her in different ways without her knowing I'm testing her. And one of the things that they do if they're a bit, if they're playing you, when you take them out to dinner, this is a really good tip, guys. When you take them out to dinner, you'll get quite a lot of girls do this actually. So you're going with a Thai girl to dinner and you maybe go to a place that isn't a real down market street level restaurant, but it's not 5-star, but it's kind of pricey. You're looking at maybe 120 baht a Thai dish, 140. Soon adds up, doesn't it? So there's only you and this Thai girl, and what she does, she'll order 6 to 8 dishes, right? She's a little Thai girl, you order rice and a chicken dish and a vegetable. That's it, or spring rolls and a chicken and whatever. But her food comes out and she's got the table's full of plates, and she'll take a fork and she'll take one mouthful out of here, another out. Anyway, she's finished, the bill comes and you've got a table full of food. Okay, so that's a good way to say, well, she's taken the mickey a little bit, this girl. I don't believe she's a great girl. She's not a good girl, okay? But something else you might not realize, and I wish I'd thought about this when I was in between the stories when I was telling this, but the other thing is, what they do, a lot of them do it in purpose, and the reason they do it, and if you think about it, it makes sense. So what they do, they'll order all this extra food, knowing that you're going to pay for it, and they can't eat it. Why would they do that? It's simple. What they'll do, they'll say to the waiter, can you put it all in bags? So what happens, the waiters come, they take the food, they put it all in cellophane boxes, put it in a white bag, tie it up, and she's carrying this food, and she'll tell the guy, oh, I'll eat it later. So the guy's like, oh, whatever. And what she's doing, she's taking that food back to her roommate, because they're eating mama noodles, fried rice, cheap vegetables. So, if a girl goes into a restaurant with a farang and she's ordering shrimps and hoi lai and, crab and really expensive dinners, and she eats what she wants, and then she takes it home to her roommate, and the roommate does the same when it's her turn and she gets taken for dinner. It's a good arrangement, isn't it? They eat well and you're the mug who pays for it. So if you meet a Thai girl and you take her on a date and you go out to dinner and she orders like 10 different dishes and hardly touched them, she's playing you. Okay, a really good tip there. Alpha Bravo, let me put you up there. You always leave lots and lots of nice comments on on every video I put up. I am aware of that, so thank you for that. And you've also put that, which is also another nice comment which I hadn't seen. How far am I behind it? Oh, not too bad, not too bad. Right, no strings. Do your exercise first thing in the morning. Then my point was to commit to a time to get up. Also great to get out. Yeah, the only problem with exercise in the morning, you're not wrong, but the problem with exercise in the morning, you've got to do it very, very early. And I don't want to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning, because some nights I do stay out late. I might go out and meet friends, or I might go out and play pool and not get to bed. Like tonight, I won't sleep before 3 a.m. tonight, because I'll finish this probably about 50 minutes in. I'll do at least another hour. Okay, so that'll be 2 o'clock in the morning. 1 o'clock in the morning here, and then I've got some work to do. So by the time I've finished, and when you get up early in the morning, the other thing is, once it gets to 9 o'clock, it's already hot, isn't it? You've got to do it really early, 7:30 in the morning. Great idea, but it just wouldn't suit me. Right, Mike L. I'm creeping around Therme in a couple of weeks. Hope you're still up for a whiskey. I don't like Therme nowadays. It used to be great 20 years ago. I hate to say in the good old days, but it's full of Japanese and Koreans now. And I've gone in there with friends who were looking for girls, and they're not really interested. I mean, you do a simple experiment, okay? Go into Therme and sit there. They have a big bar thing in the middle, don't they? Sit there and just watch. people do around, they'll come in, they get a drink, and they'll walk round and round because all the girls are lining the walls, right? And you look at a farang and you walk around, and the girls divert their eyes, or they just nothing really. They might give them a little smile if they're desperate, right? But you get a crowded few Korean guys, Japanese guys, and they're adjusting their tops and they're smiling and playing with their hair. It's just changed, right, Damon? I I always buy my partner stuff from Ann Summers and take it to the village. Not bothered about that gold. Damon, can I tell everybody the story about what you got searched, what you had in your suitcase? Just leave me a message. If I can, I'll tell everybody about it because I thought that was really funny and you got more balls than me. Right. Sadij, Chiang Mai, check price for an air ticket, train, sleeper if you just want the experience. Yeah, you can fly up to Chiang Mai, but like you say, it's nicer to go up on a sleeper, isn't it? It's more of an experience. Okay, let's do a competition because I'm an hour in now and I've got 3 of them. I don't have enough time to do all of them. Let me just show you this one. Do you remember this?
Listen to this. Honey, what do you want to eat for dinner?
Lasagna.
He's going to have rice.
She's going to have rice. He wanted lasagna. She's giving him rice. She wins. Okay, so this is Spot the Thai Girl. Okay, so I think there's 8 images here of girls from around Asia. Only one of them is Thai, and I'd like to know which one of them is Thai. What number? Okay. It's got hot again. Let me just turn this down. Right. Okay. So what number is a Thai girl? Let's see who knows their Thai girls. Alec Waters. No. Only in Thailand. No. Roger Ward. Correct. Well done. Keenock. Yes. Well done. Chinky Bad Boy. No. Leeds. No. Martin Ryder. No. George. No. Rumble. Yes. Ellesmere. No. Jeff say yes. Alpha Bravo. No. Simon Goodison. No. Martin Cormack, no. No Name, no. Motel, yeah, well done to you. You got it right. Roger Ward, no. Mike K, 87, no. Josh Phillips, no. Mike Braithwaite, yes. Franco De Rosa, no. Thailand Fan, no. Matt Polko, is it? No. Clive Allen, you'll get it right second time, Clive. Matt Polko, no. Clive Allen, no. Dave Stewart, no. Steve Roberts, no. Ty Billy Boy, no. Right in with Rick, no. Mark L, yes. Mike Sands, yes. Charlie Stewart, right, yes. David, yes. Toby Price, no. We get all the right answers coming in at the end. It's really strange how that happens. I don't know what's going on there. Right, A then, no. No Strings, yes. Richard Woolley, no. Ricardo, no. Tommy G, no. Pete Parker, no. Charles Sanders, no. Yeah, Damon, I'll have to try and remember that at the end of this. Thank you. Gabor, yeah, you got it right. Alex Kitchen, no. Damon, no. David Heisenberg, no. None of them two, David. Another David, no. Latha Malika, no. Geezers, Jason, yes, you got it right. Well done to you. Deke the Trucker, how are you, mate? I haven't seen you for a while, but wrong answer, I'm afraid. Amateur Analyst, you're only allowed one. One of them is right, one of them is wrong. Simon Mayers, no. Mr. Vegas, no. Parky, you got it right. Arthur Bravo, okay. Lester Paul, no. Broadcast Dave, no. Thailand Fan, I like them all. No doubt, no doubt. Right, Paul Hoskin, no. Barber Fort, no. Alpha Jim, no. Innovations, no. We're nearly there now. Right, okay, let's get the right one up for you there. Remember, we're looking for the Thai girl. Okay, and while we're at it, let me show you this one as well. Some good, interesting pictures there. The one I like is the one of the Ladyboy who's on the military draft. What it is with the Ladyboys, they have to turn up for the military draft, but they never take them in. They just go through the motions. So they have to go to the reporting station and they get a bit of paper to say that they've reported, but they always get rejected because they're Ladyboys. You know, they don't take them into the army. But it's the other guys around there. In any other country, they'd be like smirking and nudging each other. And you know, you look at that picture. It's just so natural here, you know. It's just so accepted, and I think that's really great. Okay, right, let's go from the newest to the oldest this time. Right, gorgeous Thailand, pretty bad outlook on Thailand in my view. Okay, anything in particular, gorgeous Thailand? Damien, let me tell you a story about Damien. So Damien's got a girlfriend. Damien's one of the moderators here, right? He's got a girlfriend. She lives up in Buriram. I've met her. She's a very nice girl. Good pool player, but not quite as good as me. Just winding you up, Damien. But Damien's, I've got to be kind of polite here. Let's just say Damien likes the lovemaking to be a little bit saucy, if you know what I mean. So what he does before he goes out there, he goes into certain shops in England and he buys things that will enhance the performance of the evening, if that makes sense. Okay, so he was telling me a story that one day he had this huge black dildo in his suitcase, okay, and he's going through immigration. I can't remember if it was English immigration or Thai immigration, but they X-ray it, and I thought, oh, what's that? And they opened it, and the immigration officer pulls out this bloody great dildo, and he's standing there with this thing in his hand. And Damon, he said, "What's this?" And he said, "Well, it's a dildo." And he said, "Well, what are you doing with it?" He says, "It's for personal use." And the guy just said, "Oh, fair enough." Put it back in his suitcase and on his way. But you know, if that was me, I'd have wanted the ground to open up and go in. You know, it's embarrassing telling you about it, let alone being the person that's got it in his suitcase. Okay, there you go, Brian. Damon. Brian Street says, "Top man." Okay, Bamboo Peter. I have noticed there are some channels popping up that try to do stories like you. What are your thoughts on that? Yeah, I mean, it doesn't bother me, but I will mention it because people have mentioned it. Now, I don't think it matters how good or how bad the story is. It's how you tell the story, and if you come across as sincere. Somebody wrote to me about 2 months ago and it says there's a guy. I'm not going to mention his name. There's a guy in the north of Thailand who's completely copied your format, Peter. He sits there and he tells stories and he encourages people to send them in. So I had a look at him and I thought, up to him. I don't own the internet. And there's a couple of other YouTubers who are sort of struggling for content who have said, oh, send me a story and I'll tell it. But at the end of the day, I've been doing it for 3 years. Okay, I've kind of got a skill set now that I can tell the stories in such a way that people enjoy them. They come out every week. If other people tell stories and they get a follow, and that's up to them. I can't stop them. I'm not. It doesn't bother me to the point where I'm sort of thinking, "Oh, why are you doing that?" But I just kind of think, well, why can't he come up with his own stuff? Why is he, why does he need to copy my format? And it's like, I'll give you an example. Simon from the Land of Smiles. I think he was the first one to start stories, and I used to watch him. And I didn't tell stories because I wanted to emulate Simon. He used to tell stories very, very well. He didn't read them. He told them from memory. And you'd be on like episode number 1722 and you think, right, the end's coming now. And you say, and we'll leave it there till next time. It's like, Jesus, Simon, let's know what happened. Anyway, he was very, very good. He's a very, very good storyteller. And I used to enjoy listening to him. And what happened with me, the way I got into the stories was not because I watched him and I thought, oh, well, I'll copy him. What happened is I started my channel 3 years ago in Hua Hin, and it was going to be a travel channel, And of course, COVID hit, and I thought, damn, I'm stuck in England now. So what am I going to do? And you do anything you can to fill the void. And at the time, I'd had a friend who got ripped off and he jumped off a balcony. This is like 30 years ago. His name was Thomas. And I thought, well, I'll tell this story. And I told from memory, I told the whole story from memory. And then I thought, well, that went down quite well. And I had a couple of other stories. And then a friend of mine told me a story. And people started saying to me, well, can I send you my story? And it just snowballed and the rest is history. So I've been telling stories for 3 years. Okay. I do it religiously every Saturday. I've missed one Saturday in 3 years, and that's when I got my apartment here because I just didn't have the time, because they actually take 2 days to put together. Now, the guy in the north of Thailand who lives up there, who tells stories the same as me, if he wants to do that, that's up to him. I don't own the internet, as I said, but people can see through fakes. I'm not saying he's a fake, but if somebody tries to copy you and they're exactly copying you because they look at you and think, well, he's successful at what he does, and they just copy you exactly, then people will see through that and I think, well, this is not this guy coming across. This is a guy trying to be that guy. Okay, so it doesn't work. So the short answer to your question, Bamboo, is let them get on with it. Let them do what they've got to do, and if they're successful, they're successful. There's another big YouTuber. Somebody sent me a link, and he doesn't need to do stories, but he's in Thailand, and he said, oh, I'm going to start reading out stories. Fair play. I had another guy contact me. He had no subscribers. He said, oh, I think your channel's great. I'm going to start and I want to tell stories. Can you help me? And I thought, well, no, why should I help you? You're going to be competing with me, right? If other people want to do it, that's their choice. But I'm not going to come on here and say, well, this is a way to do it. I think a lot of the guys, they think it's a good idea and they'll start it, but a lot of them won't last because it is a hell of a lot of work. I have to commit 2 full days a week to get them stories out in their format, with the background. I have to edit all the mistakes out. I have to go through the emails. I have to take slang words out. It's not a simple job. And those guys who look and think, well, this Peter's got 45,000 plus subscribers, I'll do what he's doing. Unless you're dedicated and you put the time in, it's not going to work, believe me. So leave them to it. Let's see. Right. Check Bound, how are you doing? Good to have you in. Hello, Peter and everyone. Glad I'm making the stream. Yeah, and we've still got the Ladyboy competition to go. I'll do the Manga Minute again at the end. I've got something else to do as well. Dave the Rave. Peter, what is the name of the hotel behind you on the screen? I can't actually pronounce it. I'm very bad at pronouncing hotel names. But somebody mentioned it earlier. If you're still watching, put it again. I'll put it up on the comment. It's something like the Ratcha something or other. I'm terrible at pronouncing. Okay, put that up for Damien. I think I'll put that up there. Top man, Damien. Okay, Paul here. Gorgeous Thailand. The outlook in Thailand can't be worse than UK. Okay, amateur analyst. That Ladyboy in the military check is woohoo. Okay. Pretty bad out. Gorgeous Thailand. Pretty bad outlook on Thailand. Yeah, I don't know if you're specific on that or something. Right. Let's just see your follow-up comment there. I think everything Pattaya has something different. He sometimes tells stories from the bar girl's perspective, and he gets them from his hairdresser because she gossips with him. I watch his channel. He's quite interesting. He does a lot of reviews on hotels, massage parlors, and things like that. You never see his face. His stories, whether he gets them from a hairdresser or not, I don't know. But it doesn't matter, you know. I mean, if they're interesting, you like them, and yeah. I mean, they're quite good stories, aren't they? Right, David Houghton, is it? Good evening to you, Don 1560. Okay, I'll put that up there. That's to the person who said, "What's the name of the hotel?" Rucha. I can't pronounce it. And you can't see my Chang because it's green. Right, I'm going to get another one, but what I'm going to do, instead of putting the picture of the lady on the buffalo, I did this last week, and I've got to be quick, it's only 35 seconds. This lady is going to be my new intermittent, is that how you say it? So if I have to nip to the loo or nip to get a beer, I'll put this on every time. Okay, let me just get rid of that comment, else it'll be less interesting. Okay, and I'm just going to grab another Chang from the fridge. Okay, and he is back. Right. Yeah, we'll make that the new intermission because she's a nice girl and it's that wink, isn't it? That's what they call a loop, 35-second loop. Chinky Bad Boy, how you doing? Yeah, no, I mentioned at the beginning, Chinky Bad Boy. Yeah, I'm in Thailand. I could go out and film, and I will do. I think if there's something special going on, or some event, or I go down to Hua Hin or Pattaya, but just to go out for the sake of it, it's almost like, well, I'm in Thailand. I feel guilty because I shouldn't be in the room doing it. But you know what? I don't think there's anything wrong with doing a live stream in a room. Some of the other YouTubers do it. Because the quality of the stream is much better. The sound is good, the picture's good, I can do competitions, I can have a little drink, I've got the air conditioning on. So I will do outside streams, but I'm not going to go out just for the sake of it because I feel like, I better go out because people expect it because I'm in Thailand. I don't know what I'm going to do when I'm in England. I'm going back to England at the end of February. I'll do what I did before. I'll do a Friday and a Sunday night, 10 p.m. That'll be more, yeah, okay. Right, David, you mean intermission lady? Yeah, okay, we'll call her that. It's a good name. Intermission lady. Okay, right. Happy. I take my freight train to Thailand. The Thai girls have found a place for it. All right. Yeah. Okay. The Gormless Twit. that's his username. I'm not calling him that. No flies on her. Okay. Toby Hoy. Toby Price, he must have a friend down soy 6/7, 6/1. Are you talking about the Ladyboy soy in Pattaya? Okay, let me put that up. Hang on a second. Let me put this up. I haven't got any new ones. That's a problem, but I can put some that I've had up before. Okay, let's have a look. I've only got one in the background here. I'll put my favorite up. There we go. Oh, vampire girl there. Looks like a vampire, doesn't she? Look at her hair. Right. Capio, how are you doing? I'm still a member of yours, by the way, Capio. I forgot, but I got a bill today, so just I'm glad you've become a member again. Thank you very much. Okay. Who else we got? Oh, let me just say hi to. I haven't put the. Hang on, where we lost you? I haven't put these up today. Somebody sent me a text message today and they says, I see the Thai baht's down to 39 something to the pound. And I thought, that's a bit low. It shouldn't be that low, surely. And I checked it on Google today. I checked these like literally 20 minutes before I started the stream today. So you're currently getting about 40. Although the rate on Google is 40 baht 44, you won't get that on a change booth because obviously they take their little bit. But if you look around, you'll get 40 baht to the pound, but you've got to look around. Super rich will give you 40 baht and 50 satang, but then you've got to queue up for ages up there on where is it now? Where was it? I've seen it. Soy 21, I think. No, it's Soy 24 on the BTS station. Right, Josh Phillips. I like your inside streams as they are a show format and planned. Outside streams are fun as random things can happen. Yeah, Josh. I mean, I do like the outside streams. Don't get me wrong, but they're only good if you can interact with people. So like, do you remember the first one I did in Pattaya where I met that girl Joy? She was sitting down with a friend, and they hadn't made any money, and she wasn't the best looking woman in the world, but she was a nice woman, and she didn't mind being on camera. And I went and bought them a couple of drinks, and when I left, I give them 200 baht each, right? Because I really think they hadn't made any money at all. And they're good. Those sort of streams are good. And then again, when I went to Jomtien the following week, and I met the lady who was selling the wristbands, and she was like, hello, come to Thailand, in the camera. And then I went to the bank. I was sitting on the step, and she came to me, and she tied one. She said, it's free. I'm giving it to you free, So yeah, they're good, but to just go outside for the sake of it in Bangkok, I told you I was walking down Sukhumvit, and there's a massage parlor where it's got only ladyboys, and you couldn't hear it on here because I stepped on the road, but one of them was shouting, "F off, F off," really loud. And I thought, Jesus, if this comes out on the stream. Anyway, who else we got there? Let's have a look. Irus Houston, is it Peter? Could you please give me a good reason to listen? I'm not learning anything useful. Well, it isn't a classroom environment, I'm afraid. What I'd suggest to you is maybe watch another channel, because it's just a live stream, and we're all sort of got the same interest, and we come here just to discuss about anything Thailand. And if you feel you're not learning anything, it's not for you. Not trying to be funny with you, but maybe it's not the channel for you. Okay, yours says, I got 40 baht 80 on Revolt yesterday. Okay, well, that's pretty good. Damon says evening to Capio. Okay. Right. David again. I put 2 messages about bus drivers earlier. Okay, I missed those, David, because sometimes when I do the competitions, I have to jump forward as I get too far behind. Leeds, let's have a look here. Do you think the baht will ever reach 50 to the pound, or have them days gone forever? I think they've gone forever, really. The Thai currency is very, very strong now, isn't it? And it's I do remember when you got 79 baht to a pound, and that's when it was cheap here, but it could go to 50. Damien thought it'd go to 50 by Christmas last year. It didn't quite get there. But the very fact that it was 42 a few weeks ago and now it's 40, it might creep up to 44 if we're lucky one day, but I don't think it'll ever get to 50 again. Right, well, I'll put that up there for you. I don't actually know what your question is, because what you said in your last comment, let's get it up there. I took it as you put, Peter, could you please give me a good reason to listen? I'm not learning anything. No, I can't give you a good reason to listen, okay? It's a live stream. There's 300 people in here. We're talking about everything Thailand. You're the only person who's complaining. So as I said the last time when I read out your comment, I would suggest you don't watch my stream anymore. Go and watch somebody else's, because you're obviously not very happy about it. Okay. Right, Damon. Evening. Oh, we've put that one up there again. Let's have a look. Ricardo. Maybe they need the Open University. I'm not sure what that means. Okay. Right. Mazza. Hi, Peter. Running late. Any chance you should give a shout out to my son, Jack? He's a big fan of yours. Is he really? Yeah. How old's your son, Mazza? If you're watching this, yeah, your dad's been watching these. Unlike the other guy who wasn't learning anything, Mazza has been, your dad rather, has been watching these streams for at least 2 years that I know of. He's in every week. Good man. So yeah, Jack, if you're watching it, welcome to the stream. Good to have you in. I'm glad you're interested in all things Thailand. Yeah, Jack, how you doing? Right, there you go. Alpha Bravo. GB economy goes down, Thailand goes up. Yeah, I'm just glad I'm moving out here full time. There's so much to be out here for. I mean, it's. I was talking to somebody the other day. Who was I was talking to? I think it was Simon, about the routine. You get into a routine in the UK. It's like my routine was get up, do the school run, take Benji for a walk in the morning, go on the PC till lunchtime, have some lunch, go on the PC again till about 4 o'clock, watch a bit of telly, take the dog out again, have some dinner, watch Netflix, go to bed and do it all again the same day. Here, there's so much to do. And you don't have to hang out in bars. You can, I can get the bus for 131 baht down to Pattaya. I can go to Hua Hin for 200 baht. I can walk around malls until midnight. It's great. Okay, somebody said flights were coming down. Still cheap. Okay, yeah. Uh, right. Do you ever go down to Phuket? I'm not a great fan of Phuket, Paul. I'll tell you why. One, it's the logistics of getting down there because it's not like you can just jump on a bus or get in a taxi. You've got to fly down there. It takes something like 16 hours or 18 hours to drive. Um, but it's very, very expensive. And it seems to be like a real big rip-off place. If you watch Tim Newton's new channel, I say new since he left the Tiger, if you really want to learn anything or you want some good news that's coming out of Thailand, the latest news, he calls his channel TNT. I'm a subscriber. I watch it. It's a very good channel. I think he's a very good presenter. I've stopped watching the Tigers since he left because I think he was the kind of the anchor. Nothing against the Thais who run it, but I prefer to watch Tim's news channel, and he's based in Phuket. So one of the things he said on his one of his streams recently, he was saying, the taxis, it's one of the biggest rip-off places in Thailand. It's expensive. They rip you off, and it's the logistics of getting down there. So, of course, when I come out here, I will take a flight down there and I'll visit because I like to do some videos down there. But as a place to hang out personally, it's not somewhere I particularly want to go to. Toby Price. Is there plans to change the UK bank notes? I still have 100 with Liz in them. I don't know, but it doesn't really matter because you can still take it into a bank. There's only a time limit on how long you can spend it in shops, but you can take it back to a bank anytime. Okay. Right, Capio. Peter, did you hear about the young girl who fell off the balcony and her travel insurance didn't cover her repatriation? She made the mistake of getting insurance in Thailand. She was on my flight home. No, I didn't hear about that. Yeah, I mean that's the problem. I'm actually I'm actually meeting the guy on Tuesday. I'm taking out my insurance with a company called Pacific Cross, and the reason I'm going with them is because I've done a lot of research on because I'm going to be living out here. I've done a lot of research on insurance companies, and they seem to be the sort of better one. AXA's very good as well. A lot of guys sign up to that from the States, but Pacific Cross seem to be pretty good. They give you a card, and talking to other expats who have had problems, they have paid out. They have paid the hospital bill, and you don't have to pay it out your pocket and then claim it back. Once you're in hospital, the hospital sort it out with the company. So technically, I could be in the same boat because I'm taking my insurance out here, but I'm coming out here to live here. So I'm meeting the guy on Tuesday. I've had hours of conversation. I've given the guy so many questions that he's had to go to the underwriters because he said to me, "Look, you're asking me questions that nobody's ever asked me before." I'll give you an example of a question I asked him. So I used to be a smoker. I haven't smoked for 10 years. So I said, "Well, look, if I get throat cancer and I put on the form, I'm a non-smoker right now. I don't use a vape. I don't use cigarettes. So on the form, they'll say, are you a smoker or you're not? So I'll put, no, I'm not a smoker. So my question was, okay, if I get throat cancer in 5 years' time and I'm admitted to hospital and it costs $500,000 to sort me out in the hospital or do what they got to do, if the insurance company find out that I used to smoke 2 packets of cigarettes a day for 30 years, will they fail to pay out?" And he had to go to the underwriters and they said, well, no, as long as you mention it. So, it's things like that, questions like that you have to ask. But yeah, I mean, it's really sad. You pay all this money out for insurance and they, like that girl, so sad. It makes me angry, actually. There was, let me just say thank you to Museli, is it? Where's that? AED50. Thank you for the super chat. Not sure what what currency is that? Is that dirham from the Middle East? No, it's not dirham, is it? AED. I watched a film based on a true story. It's an old film now about a guy who got cancer, a young boy actually, and he come from a poor community. Can't remember the name of the film. Very poor family, and his mother had been paying insurance for years and years and years, and then he got very, very sick, and he died as a result that the insurance wouldn't pay out. And when they'd done the investigation, it transpired that the policy of the insurance company was turn down every claim. The first time they put the claim in, turn down the claim, because a lot of people will just say, oh, well, they're not going to pay and that's it, and they won't take it any further, so they save money. It's only when people wrote again and started making trouble and complaining that, yeah, then they'd start to look into it. I don't know if it's like that these days, but that was a very educating film, based on a true story, as I say. Right, okay. Yeah, cheers. Right, let's do our second competition of the night. And this one is the Hooters competition. We've still got the Ladyboy competition to go. So basically, I think there's 7 pictures here. I just want to know which number of these Hooters girls. There's only one picture of Thai girls. Which one is it? Right, here we go. Let's see who's right. We're looking for the Thai girl. Right, Simon Mays. No. Robert. No. A then. I guess that's Emirates Dirham. Okay, thank you, A then. Martin Ryder. No. Simon Goodson. No. Jeff Say. No. Let me just check which one it is. No. George. No. Leeds. No. Michael Wards. No. Matt Pulko. No. Rumble. Well done, mate. You got it right. Alex Curtin. No. Thai Billy Boy. Yes. Well done to you. Roger T. Not sure about that one. Only in Thailand, no. Keenock, no. Roachy Baby, is it? No. Gabor, yes, well done to you. Elsmere, well done to you. And Morsely, well done to you. You got them. The Gormless Twit, no. Mike Braithwaite, no. Carlos, what is it? Carlos, no, you got it. It isn't number 6. Alpha Jim, no. Mike Sands, yes, you got it. Ricardo, no. Phil T, no. Damon, no. Andre, I can't pronounce that last name, but no. Yeah, you got it right. Well done to you. Charlie Stewart, right? No. Keenock again, no. Timmy, T-Money, no. Toby Price, yes. Checkbound, yes. Franco Dorol, you never get it, Franco, do you? Capil, yeah, you got it. Well done to you. Asuk, yes. And Andre Scapini, is it? Yes, well done to you. Parky, well done to you. A lot of right answers now. Roger Ward, no. Mirage 888, yes. Dave Stewart, yes. Richard Woolley, Mark L, no. Innovations, no. Mazza, yes. And we'll say hi to Jack again. Stephen Roberts, not tonight, mate. You're not very lucky tonight, Stephen. Charles Sanders, yes. Lester Paul, no. Are we nearly there? Just me. 2 answers there. One of them is right. I'm not telling you which ones. Jason, I'm going to call you Jason now, so the geezers. You got it right. Well done. Andrea Scapini, is it? Yes. David, no. Who else we got? We're nearly there now. So lots of answers. We're nearly there. Who else? Tony P, you got it right. Steve Hughes, no. Mercy Pool, no. Dika in Thailand, no. Dutch Frang, yes. David, yes. Catch Fan Chan, is it? Yes. Right, I'm just going to read out the right answers now. We're nearly there. Who else we got? Right, Mike K87. Right, let's put this one to bed. Let me put the right answers up for you. Here we go. I mean, to be fair, a lot of these, some of those other girls could possibly be Thai, because some of the girls in Hong Kong, or not China, but maybe Hong Kong, they could be Thais, couldn't they, working in another country? But number 7 was the answer we're looking for. But what's really strange is we all seem to get a lot of right answers right at the end, and I wonder why that is. Okay, we've still got the Ladyboy competition. We'll do that in about 15 minutes time. Okay, right, let me go right down to the latest comment. I'll work backwards again. Damien Peter, you're in background picture 1. Yeah, I know. I put myself there, Damon. That was one from last year. Musili Filipinas, Charles Saunders, in love with number 4. Roger Ward, Thai girls are very similar to Filipinos. Yeah, there was a competition I did where you had to spot the Thai girl, and everybody picked the Filipino, because you're right, they're very, very beautiful, very similar. Innovations. I went with one because Peter was in the picture. Yeah, well, that was to throw you off. You see, I was being a bit devious there. Wasn't that strange? That guy who came in earlier and said, "I'm not learning anything here." What was he expecting? Like a bloody classroom environment or something? Really strange people about. Like the guy. If you just come in, I was telling everybody at the beginning. Somebody actually wrote into me and complained, right, about my glasses. They see how they're lopsided. I have actually ordered some more. But he wrote in and he said, "Your glasses put me off. Can't you get them repaired?" And I said, "What's wrong with them?" And he actually sent me a picture with a red ring around this part of the glasses. And I thought, Jesus, you've got too much time on your hands. Anyway, Team Money. No, again, laugh out loud at this point. Should wait and see the right answer. I think a lot of people do that. What they do, they wait until one or two right answers come and then they change their answer. And then all of a sudden we get right answers all the way. Okay, right. What should we talk about now? Let's have a look. Let's try and get somebody new. Did you see that message, Franco? You said you didn't know how to look at private messages. I've sent you a couple already tonight. You don't have to answer me here, but I'm just letting you know so you can have a look. Okay, let's have a look. Right, Keenock, Peter's in China. I have actually worked in China. It wasn't my favorite place, to be honest with you. Twice. Once in a place called Dalian, and another time I went to Beijing a couple of times. Roger Ward, these girls are very. Oh, we read that one. Where are we? Okay. Right. T Money says, "Oh, good. Another contest in 15 minutes for me to get wrong." Well, we always leave the Ladyboy competition to the end because it does kind of offend some people. I don't know why, but if I put it on early, it's like 40, 50 people go out the chat. But mind you, that was when I was having. I used to get about 500 people in the chat when I was in the UK because I put the live streams at 10 p.m. on a Friday and Sunday, and that's a great time to do it. But because of the time difference here, it's going out at 4 p.m. on a Sunday, which a lot of people are, they're just kicking back, aren't they? They've had their dinner and, they're watching the Sunday afternoon, The Great Escape again on, it's either The Great Escape or what's the other one they show just as The Sound of Music, is it? They still show that. Right. Capio says, surprising to see trolls on YouTube. Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. I'm not going to do it now, but I've had the queen of trolls on me. I'm not going to say anything more, but I'm just going to say the extent that this person went to try and make problems for me. It didn't work. Okay. I don't want to tell you yet because I can't tell you why I can't tell you yet, but maybe in 6 weeks' time, I'm going to tell you what this person done. They literally went out of their way big time to try and mess up my life. Okay. It didn't work whatsoever because the people who they aimed this stuff at, trust me, and they're complete strangers. But I'll tell you what they did. I just don't want to say anything now because I'm still, going back to the UK. But yeah, I mean, the trolls, I mean, you know yourself, Capio, it's a lot of nice people out there, but the trolls are, Right, Richard Martin, seem to have a bit of a delay on here tonight. Let's have a look. Right, you're cracking me up about the complainers. The world is full of weirdos. I know they don't bother me anymore. And some people get upset if you mention them. They say, "Oh, just move on. You shouldn't mention them. Shouldn't give them airtime." But it's just such a funny subject to deal with, isn't it? And I can't believe what this person did to try and mess up my life. Like I say, it didn't work, but I will tell everyone about it. Brian, no, it wasn't good, but it just didn't work. They're idiots, aren't they? Yeah, Toby Price says, yeah, I think the numbers are down as the pandemic is over and people can travel to Thailand. Well, I don't know so much. I mean, I was watching Nick Dean's channel this afternoon and he had about 500 in. Trevor had 400 and something in. But they maybe that's a better time. I'm doing a time where it's 4 o'clock now. It will be, what's the time now? It's 5:30 in the evening on a Sunday. So, what would I be doing if I was in England 5:30 on a Sunday? I'd be ordering a pizza or something, Talking of pizza, I went to Simon's house today and he cooked Sunday lunch. And I said to him, look, don't cook Sunday lunch because it's Chinese New Year here and his wife's Chinese, Thai Chinese. They had duck and a load of stuff left over. And he said, I don't know what I'm not going to cook because we've got duck left over, but I'm not sure if it's enough. And I said, I'll tell you what, buy a couple of get a couple of pizzas. I'll pay for them. I'm not bothered. And his son ordered the pizza, but he messed it up. And what we were expecting was like a chicken supreme with a stuffed crust cheese and a Hawaiian, vegetable Hawaiian, whatever you call it, another stuffed crust and a salami, is it? A meat feast, something like that. And again, we want the cheese stuffed crust. What turned up is 4 medium-sized pizzas with the most terrible toppings you can imagine. But what they were stuffed crust, but they were stuffed with sausages. Have you heard anything like, you know? And I said to Sam, I said, what the hell is this? Sausages and the stuffed crust. And it turned out he just screwed up the order, but it was very disappointing. Right, Nick Frankel, good to have you in. That certain foreign in Thailand had an expert moaning about too many foreigners coming back to Thailand. Oh, the irony. That certain Farang, is that forum you meant to say? That certain Farang forum in Thailand had an, I'm not sure who that is. You've written it very cryptic, but yeah, I kind of get what you're saying. I'm not sure who the person is. Yeah, Roger says don't feed the trolls. Well, it's not a case of feeding the trolls. It's a case of just discussing it because it's part of life, isn't it? And it is very interesting, isn't it? You know, because some people are sort of wackos. It's like the guy who was on here earlier. If you just joined us, someone left a comment. They said, "Why am I here, Peter? I'm not learning anything." And I said, "You heard what I said?" I said, "Well, go and watch another channel then." You know, but I don't know. People are strange. Okay, Nick Forum says the S. Okay, I don't actually know that one, Nick. So I'll have to go and look it up and see what they're talking about. Steve, yes, I don't think this is the best time slot for the UK. Lots of people tucking into roast dinner or watching sport. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to have a rethink. If I go to Pattaya this week, I might do one from the beach in the afternoon because I know all you guys will be asleep if you're in the UK, but it's always 10 o'clock in the evening somewhere in the world. It's just, is it going to be sort of like in Africa or something like that, you know, or a country that doesn't speak much English? Right, Musil again. Peter, thanks for advice on pizza place in Pattaya, Italy Pizza. It was very nice. What when they're daily. Yeah, it's great, isn't it? I mean, do you remember I did a video about? I mean, I had people moaning about that. I did a video on a place called Pizza Italy. It's on Soy Boomerang. It's a typical shop front. The guy who owns it, David, he's an Italian. It's run by he's been there for years. He's a proper Italian. You know, he lives above his shop. He makes the dough all by hand, and the pizzas are gorgeous. You know, the big things like this, really flat, original, proper Italian pizzas. He uses the right cheese, the right mushrooms. I mean, they are perfect, right? And they're so good. I went there probably 3-4 times in a week because they were just addictive. You know, I mean, you're talking proper pizza. So I went to see David. I said, David, these are great. I'm going to make a video of it with your permission. And he was like, well, what do you want? And I said, well, I don't want anything. I just think your pizzas are fantastic and people need to know about these, you know, because they are that good. And you've just basically given the stamp of approval as well. If you haven't been there, guys, I'm getting no backhanders. I've got no affiliation with David's place, Pizza Italy. It's on Soy Boomerang off Soy Bacau, right? You go down from Soy Bacau and there's a little road on the right. There's some girls sit outside. There's a gentleman's club. There's a few gentlemen's clubs there, and it's tucked away in the corner, as most good restaurants are. But when I made that video, I had a load of people write to me, "Oh no, I think the Bronx pizza on Soy Bacau is much better than there," or "I think the pizza in there is better," or "There's a place in," you know, people are having a go at me, and I was like, well, I've been to sort of 3 or 4 places, and this is my personal choice. And I was just kind of saying, it said you know, in the description, I said, my personal opinion is that this is the best pizza in Pattaya, right? That's what I think. I'm not saying it's official. And people just had a go at me and said, no, this place is better than that place. And anyway, if you're down there, check it out. You won't be disappointed. Right, Mazza, what has been your favorite trip so far on the trip? Sounds like you've had some good nights. For me, what has been your favorite man? Oh, do you know what? Do you know what? The best thing that I've enjoyed here was getting my apartment. You know, I made a video on this apartment because when I came here, I didn't know how long I was going to stay here. Originally, I bought the ticket. I came out on the 9th of October, and for some reason, I'd booked it to come back 3 weeks later. I don't know why. And Simon, my friend, oh, that comes later. So then I decided to extend it till December, and I thought, well, I might as well stay till after Christmas because there's no point in going back. And then I was going to go back, I think it was like around New Year. And Simon says, has your house gone through? I said, well, not yet. And he said, well, what stage is it? I said, well, it's still, with a solicitor. He said, well, it'll be ages. He said, well, why are you going back? And I thought, yeah, you're right. So I booked it till the end of February, and I'd been living for 2 months out of a suitcase in Pattaya. I stayed in Pattaya for 2 months. And when you live out of a suitcase, you can't really stay in and have a night in, because the budget hotels don't normally have anything much on the TV. And I bought a HDMI cable. I watch Netflix, and the reason I bring a HDMI cable is because you can put it from your laptop into the back of the TV in the hotel room, and then you can put your favorite film, your movie on, whatever you want. And instead of you sitting in front of your laptop, you can kick back on the bed and it's on the big screen because it's gone through the HDMI cable. Okay, that was one of my top travelers tips, as it were. And yeah, I did that a couple of nights over the 2 months. But you're in a hotel room, you're laying on a bed, you've got no facilities really. You've got the bathroom and that's it, and there's no food. And so I did that for 2 months, and then I got this apartment. It's got a nice big lounge. It's got a balcony. It's got a bedroom. It's got a bathroom. I've got a kitchen. And when I got this place, it's a nice place, It's costing me 20,000 a month because I'm paying for the location where I am. I'm on the Sukhumvit area, I'm not on Soy 128. I'm between Asok and Nana Plaza, but kind of in the middle. And yeah, my best experience really was getting this place, because what happened was, I bought a few bits and pieces to make it my own home. I got the green screen behind me now. I went out and bought a 55-inch TV to replace the one that they had. But there's a sofa, there's a fridge full of food, there's a fridge full of beers. I've got a nice bathroom. I've got a nice station to work with here. And all in all, I think that was really the best. That's the best thing about the trip, was getting this place and knowing I've got a base. And the other part of that was getting everything sorted out, So, I've managed, since I've been out here, I've managed to get I will get a work permit, but for the moment I'm on a retirement visa. So I've got my retirement visa for 15 months. I've also got my car driving license, Thai. I've got my motorcycle driving license. I've got a Bangkok bank account with an ATM machine, and ATM card, and I've got this apartment on a 1-year lease. So I've done everything so that when I go back to the UK and I come back, I don't have to start from scratch and start looking for things. So yeah, and I have had a few good nights out. Pattaya is a lot of fun if you want to party. It's a good place to go to party, but to live there, I don't think I can do it. Right. Okay. Right, Capio, did you go to Ken's Kitchen in Wuhan? It's tucked away a little bit, but some of the best food. No, I wish I knew that, Capio, because I always rent a motorcycle when I'm down there, so I can get about everywhere. And I've not heard of it. I'll look out for that the next time I'm down there. Anyway, cheers. Okay. Okay, Michael Ward says 4:30 UK, there is PL football on. Okay, so I can't compete with the football, but there's still nearly 300 in, so I'm happy with that. Lots of comments from you tonight, Capio. I think 1 hour later than this is good time slot for the UK. Problem you have now is there is a massive football game on. Yeah, not everybody likes football, but the other problem is, what you've got to consider is, I've got neighbours. I'm in an apartment, right? This is an older building, so the walls are nice and thick. It's like some of the new builds, you can hear people talking, but this is pretty solid. And I can hear the guy when he pulls his chair out, it's screeching and stuff like that. I've never heard a conversation, but it's going on now here for 20 to 1 in the morning. If I was doing like till 3 in the morning, and somebody's going to get upset. Dean Clark, just been to Thailand for the first time at Christmas. What a place! Booked to go back in April, then again next Christmas. Yeah, it's addictive. If you come out here for the first time, and you haven't been here, okay, everybody makes a newbie mistakes. We all get a bill put in a pot that we didn't. We pay for a drink that we didn't pay for. We accept the taxi driver saying 100 baht rather than putting the meter on. All sorts of things. But you earn your Thailand stripes then, don't you? You're a veteran, and then you come out here and you enjoy it for what it. Why do you think I'm moving out here? I'm 63 in April. People say to me, "Well, aren't you a bit old?" And I'm like, "No." Absolutely the opposite. Why would I stay in the UK? There's life here in Thailand. There's no life back there. Somebody asked me what I miss about the UK. The other thing, the only thing I really miss, I think, apart from obviously my daughters and stuff, the only thing I really miss is taking my dog out for a walk. To be honest with you, and because England's a very green country and the air is very fresh, and when you go out in the morning, 9 o'clock in the morning, take the dog out, it's nice. It's real nice. I miss that. Right, okay, let's have a look. Nick Franco, slice of pizza on soy 6 is my favorite. Yeah, I know the sort of pizza you're after. Okay, Richard C, not sure I understand that. Where is all of Peter's? All right. I'll tell you something else I'm very, very pleased about. There's quite a popular YouTuber. When I started my channel in Hua Hin, when I first started, I had no subscribers. You know, I think my wife was my first subscriber, just to get the ball rolling. Then I asked my kids to subscribe, like people do. And at the time when I started this, I'm not going to mention his name, okay, because that's not fair. But this particular guy who's quite popular, at the time when I started 3 years ago, he had 23,000 subscribers. And as of yesterday, he had 43,300, and I've now got 43,300, just coming up for 40, it might be 400 already. But, you know, I've managed to sort of progress really fast during COVID, and I'm quite proud of that, actually. Right. Richard Woolley. Peter, do you think they will bring back the COVID restrictions as the floodgates are now open for Chinese tourists? Well, the thing is, they didn't want to offend the Chinese. Originally, they did say that you had to prove that you've had the injections. I think what they really wanted to do was they just only wanted to see it from the Chinese, but the Chinese and the Thais are like best friends, aren't they? So they didn't want to upset them. So they said, well, the way around that is we'll just make sure everybody has to show it. And then they said, oh, it's too much hassle, forget it. Everyone can come in, they don't have to show it. And I think they're monitoring it. And I think the way it will go, to be honest with you, really, I don't know why people say to be honest with you, it's like you lie all the time, but just my personal opinion, I think what will happen is I think they're monitoring it now. And I think what they'll do is if it goes on the way it's going, I haven't heard of any problems at the moment. It hasn't got any worse. There's quite a lot of Chinese people here now, but there's nothing sort of happy. I think it's kind of run its pace. The virus has run its pace, you know, and I just think what will happen, they'll monitor it. And if people start suddenly dropping like flies or the hospital start filling up, then okay, they have to reevaluate it. Okay. And that's my biggest fear, that now I'm set up with an apartment, I bought my 55-inch TV, I've got everything sorted out. You know, if I've got to go back to finish off my house at the end of February, only for a few weeks, and I'll be back, and that's it. But can you imagine if it all kicked off and all lockdown coming again, and a lot of my stuff's here, and I can't get back into the country? I don't think that's going to happen. But in answer to your question, I think they're monitoring it, and I don't think there's anything in the pipeline. And the good news as well is I think I was watching again TNT, Tim Newton, very good source of news, and he was saying they're probably going to extend the 45-day. It's not a visa, it's an visa exempt, you know, where you can come in, you get a stamp to say you don't need a visa. It was 30 days. They did a 6-month promotion that was supposed to end on, is it 31 days in March? I can't remember, but the 30th or 31st. And now what they're saying is that they'll probably extend that to the countries who are entitled to come in and just get a stamp when they come in. So that's good news for everybody, because, you know, you're always watching that deadline. When you got 30 days, you calculate, well, I'll be flying all day on that day, and then I get in, but it's the next day in Thailand, and I've got to leave on this day. So it's much better. The Gormless Twit, will you, let's have a look. Well, I already have done. Will you give us a look around your place? I already have done. There's a video that I made 6 weeks ago. If you go on to the other, the apartment's looking much nicer now, but when I first moved in, the thumbnail is a pretty woman, as always, and it says, how much does it cost to rent an apartment in Bangkok? And then I show you my swimming pool. I don't show you exactly the building, but I do film the lounge, I film the bedroom, I film the bathroom, but I might do another one in the future, because right now it's like a home. When I first moved in, it was just a rented apartment, but I bought a TV, I bought different chairs, I bought my bed in, I've got my green screen now, and it feels like home now. So if you just want to get an idea, you know, you can have a look. Right. Alphabet, all you need is Klopp. I don't know what Klopp is, Alpha. What is that? Richard C, thanks, he does a good job, and the thumbs give him a higher ranking on YouTube. Okay, that's so controversy, isn't it? Because if you've ever wondered, like some people say to me, I won't repeat the old joke, but some people say, why do you put, you know, pictures of girls in bikinis on every thumbnail? And it's simple, really. You know, I wouldn't say it's clickbait. It's just like I've said so many times in the past, you know, if you go to a garage and you want to fit new tires, there'll be a calendar on the wall of a girl in a bikini leaning over a tire of the company. Right? It's just what people do. And I do it because one, I think people like to look at pretty girls. I could put a picture of a temple on there, but I'm sure you guys would rather look at a pretty girl. And the other reason is, why not? Let me turn it around and say, why shouldn't I put a picture of a pretty girl on there? Right, Keenock. Keep up the good work, Peter. Get a few cans of Chang. Thanks very much. I will. What's that in baht? That's about 100. No, it's more than that. It's 200 baht. Yeah. So for 200 baht, I can get a couple of cans of Chang. Brilliant. Thank you. Right. And Simon, thanks, Simon, Mr. Hasselhoff there. Thanks for a great stream as always. Well, I'm still here. I'm not going anywhere yet, but I have lowered my volume because, sleepyheads. Right. Josh Ashworth. 63, you're a youngster. I'm 66 and I'm looking at moving to Thailand later in the year. Yeah, why not? Why not? You should. The only thing I'd say, the only bit of advice I'd give you, see, I've got something that a lot of people won't have, and that's again, I'm not blowing my own trumpet. I'm just telling you how it is, okay? Because I lived here a lot of years, and I did the bars, and I did the go-go bars for years and years and years. I lived in Pattaya for 3 years. I've had various apartments on Sukhumvit. I've been out to all the first time I went to Soy Cowboy was 1995. Okay, Nana Plaza was about the same time when it was half of it was a shopping mall, not go-go bars, a snooker club on the 3rd floor, and a short-time hotel on the other side. But what I've got in my favor that you might struggle with is I'm not sitting here thinking, I've got to get out to Nana Plaza, it will be closed in 2 hours, or I'm off to Cowboy tonight. It's not pulling me in, right? But if you've never been here before, it's a bit like being a kid in a candy shop. And what happens is you might have a plan and think, right, well, I'm going to play golf on a Monday, and I'm going to join the Rotary Club on a Tuesday, go to the Rotary Club on a Tuesday, and I'm going to do this on a Wednesday, and I'm going to go for a seafood. And what happens, you get all these pretty ladies are giving you attention, which you've never had, and you're 66, and all of a sudden, you're getting all these girls smile at you and they want your attention. Okay, it's all down to money, but you're not experienced, and a lot of guys they fall by the wayside because what happens, they come out on a limited budget, and they've worked out all the budget needs. Okay, this for the apartment, this is for my electricity, this is what I'll spend on a food. I'm going out 2 nights a week. I'm going to do these bars, and it all goes out the window. Pretty girls, they get carried away. They start bar finding girls every night, and before you know it, any work they were going to do is out the window. And if they're retiring, their budget's just used up real quick on ladies' drinks and short times. So you've got to be really, really you've got to have a lot of self-control to stay out here long term. Unless you're a multi-millionaire, then you can do what you want. It doesn't matter. Right, Chinky Bad Boy again. Press the like button. Yeah, thank you, Chinky Bad. That's always got me. When you get people who watch a stream and they enjoy it, but they never press the like button. You think, why? I always do if I watch a stream. Right, type it. We're getting a running commentary now. Arsenal 2-1. All right. Okay. Deep the Trucker 3. Bit late on that one. No strings. In Bangkok, my birthday in April 2. Will reach out if you're celebrating. Yeah, a lot of people, I mentioned this before, a lot of people who come out in here on vacation are like, oh, hi, Peter, I'm in town, let's meet up. And I do like to meet subscribers, and I have met a lot of them, a lot more in Pattaya. I get recognized a lot in Pattaya more than here. I can walk the streets here quite okay. But I met a guy called Jesse, I met a guy called Peter, I met a guy, I forgot his name now, he's going to get angry. The guy I had the Soy Arab, we had the, God, I wish I hadn't mentioned it now. What was his name? I've met a lot of guys, okay, but sometimes, it's like when a guy comes out here for the first time and wants to meet me, he basically wants, some of them, they expect me to take them on a tour of the go-go bars, okay? And I don't want to do that because, one, I don't want to spend the money, and secondly, they bore me. Go-go bars actually bore me now. So for me, if I meet people here, I'd rather meet them and go out for a dinner, or I'd meet them for a lunch, or meet them for a coffee, or meet them somewhere where we can sit and talk. I don't want to meet you and go to a go-go bar. Okay, I don't want to meet you in Nana Plaza and have a wild night, because if I did that with everybody who comes out here, I'd just be a pisshead, So I'm not a snob. I do like to meet people, and it's like Jason's here at the moment, and I'm gonna try and meet Jason. But like I said to Jason today, I don't want to meet in the evening and go out drinking. I'd rather meet him for lunch or a coffee or something like that, and we can sit and have a chat. It's nice meeting people, actually. I told you I was playing pool with a guy called Jesse. And if I met you and I haven't mentioned you here, apologies, because my memory is like terrible now. But I'll tell you what we will do. We'll do the Ladyboy competition now, because we're nearly going for 2 hours. And then I'll put the Manga Minute on one last time. Have I missed anything out? No, we'll do about 2 hours, but let's do the Ladyboy competition. Right, this has been gone for so long now. Let me just check which way around it is tonight. Right. Okay. So there's 8 pictures, 7 of them this week, because sometimes it's 7 girls and 1 ladyboy. But this week, all of them are ladyboys. There's just 1 real girl. Okay. So 8 pictures, 7 of them are ladyboys. 1 of them is a real woman. The object of the game, the competition for fun, is just tell me which one is not a ladyboy. She's a real woman. Okay. Oh, there's only 1 of them. The rest are ladyboys. Let me just tell you something. Before anybody leaves a comment and says, oh, another popular YouTuber uses that music on all his streams, I used it 18 months ago when I was here, when I did the Pat Pong Museum video. Okay, so I probably was the first to use it. Right. Okay, we're looking for the real woman now. Alex, no. Robert, no. Martin Ryder, no. Rat Cheeks, no. Leeds, no. George, no. Michael Ward, no. I knew this would be difficult. Only in Thailand, no. Mozili, sorry for pronouncing your name wrong. No. Thai Billy Boy, well done. You got it right. You know your ladyboys then. Alec Waters, no. Rumble, no. Nick Jones, no. Chinky Bad Boy, yeah, you know your ladies as well. Juicy, is it? Or Jussie? Probably said that wrong. No. Tony P, no. Toby Price, no. Mike K, 87, no. Richard C, no. Ricardo, no. Just Me, no. Damon, no. Bendover, no. Alpharetta Jim, no. Jeff Say, yeah, another right answer there. Well done, Jeff. Carlos, no. Franco again, no. Dave Stewart, no. Gabor, yeah, you got it right, Gabor. Well done. And it's quite difficult because she actually looks slightly ladyboyish, doesn't she? And I did that on purpose. Franco De Rosa again, no. Dave Stewart, no. Gabor, no. Geezers, Jason, yeah, you got it right. Well done. Dick Heidel, I won't pronounce the second name, but no. Musilia again, no. Innovations, no. Peter Parker, yes, well done to you. No Strings, no. Right, Just Me, that is actually the correct answer. Charles Stewart, right, no. Michael McIntyre, yes. Charles Saunders, now you got it right. Surprise, surprise. David Heisenberg, no. Lester Paul, no. Sir Jar, no. Roger Ward, no. Is it Quays 1968? No. Stephen Gibson, no. The Gormless to it. Yeah, you got it right. Well done to you. Mike Braithwaite, no. Tommy G, no. Matt Pulko, is it? No. Nick S, yeah, well done to you. You got it right. Phil T, no. We're nearly there now. Reginald Rutherford, I love that name. You got it right. Well done, Reginald. Marvin Bowles, no. Steve James, no. Peter Cross, no. Don 1560, no. Mark L, no. Elsmer, no. T Money, yeah, well done to you. Kevin, well done to you. Any others? Stephen, it hasn't been your night, Stephen, unfortunately. No. Josh, no. Keenock, I love the sleazy music. Well, that's why I used it on the Pat Pong Museum. It's very sleazy, isn't it? Like a 1970s porn flick. Right, Alpha Bravo, no. Troll Budgie, is it? No. We're nearly there. We're nearly there. Let's have a look. A few more. Steve Haynes, no. Simon Mays, no. Checkbound, no. Rad Dog 42, no. David Hutton, no. Thought we'd have a few more now. Zorbek G, is it? No. Steve Hayes, yes, you got it right. Well done. Right, let's put the right answer. Tom Keeley is the last one there. That is wrong as well. So let me show you the real lady. Where are we? Where are we? Okay, well done if you got it right. I did say I'd do the Manga Minute again because I did it real early. So let's get some mileage out of it. This is a new one that I haven't shown before other than earlier tonight. Right, I'm smiling there because I've just noticed Sheila's in the stream. I hadn't noticed you. Good evening, Sheila. But I don't know what Peter Cross has said. But Sheila says, you know, she's from Glasgow, right? So she said, "Bolt your wee tadger, Peter Cross." That's probably the worst Glaswegian accent you've ever heard. Some people have asked me because I was going to do a live stream with Sheila when she was here because she was in Thailand, and that was all planned. And Sheila and I were talking. She was down south with her girlfriend Mint. And but unfortunately Sheila's grandmother became very ill, and Sheila had to jump on a plane real quick and obviously go back and see how her gran was doing. So it will happen. I'll be living here full time, so I'm sure when Sheila comes out the next time, it's not her last trip to Thailand by far. So when she comes out the next time, I'll try and grab her, not literally, but to do a live stream. But she will be in her usual face mask disguise, I guess. So Peter Cross, put your tadger away. Right, Derek C says, the challenge is too difficult. Sounds like trouble. Yeah. Okay. Well, if it was easy, it'd be too easy, wouldn't it? If that makes sense. Sky Jackpot. Okay. I don't know what that's about. Right. Stephen Roberts says, I need new glasses. Yeah, but it's like I say all the time. You know, when you're here, they stick out a mile. If you forgive the pun. It's just from a picture you can't tell. I know because I've made the competition, but it's very, very difficult. Damien, if you're still there, what I'll do, because I know you're going to have your dinner later, but what I'll do, I'll end the stream soon because it's 2 hours now. I just want to get it over the 2-hour mark. Give me 10 minutes to get because I've got to take my green screen and put it under the bed. You know, it's on a kind of thing. Give me 10 minutes to sort myself out and I'll give you a ring because we haven't spoken since last week. It'll be a good chance to catch up. Okay, Chetban says, Fumatic, is it? Okay. Let's do a few more comments before we go. That's 2 hours now. Damon, you're saying, Peter, rather than a Ladyboy competition and we do a shaved, yeah, okay, we'll leave that one for next week. Always check the hand. You know the funny pictures, I ran that video earlier, like the funny montage. Did you notice the Ladyboy that the police were arresting? He had something in his pocket that looked like something else. That's quite a funny picture. Right, Paul Hoy says, Toby Price, a bit of high maintenance is worth it is now and again. All right. Right, David Duffy, can you speak the Thai language? Well, I wouldn't bullshit you and say, yeah, I can speak the Thai language. I know quite a lot of it, actually. I can order all my food. I can tell taxi drivers where to go. I can bargain. I know a lot of words. I can string a few sentences together. But to say, yeah, I can speak Thai, I'd be bullshitting. And I should be able to speak it fluently by now, but I'm a bit lazy and, I kind of live in a tourist ghetto, don't I? So everyone speaks English. But yeah, I mean, even if you're not trying to learn, when you've been here as long as I have over all the years, you pick up a lot. So, I mean, yeah, I kind of 50-50, I'd say on that one. Right. Okay, who else? A few more comments, and then I'm gonna call it a night now because it's 1 o'clock in the morning here. I don't want to piss them off. Right, David, I've read that one. Right, Steve James, why don't you do wildlife tours? Well, I'd need a work permit to do that. I will get a work permit, but let me put that comment up there. Yeah, I know what you mean by wildlife tours. they're doing a crackdown now on visas that you should be here, you shouldn't be working or not working. Like what the crackdown is, there's a lot of guys, when you get over 50, you can get retirement visa, so it's not a problem to stay here, okay? If you come on vacation, holiday, it's not a problem, but there's a lot of guys out here who are below 50, but they're in a position to live out here. They're either, they do IT, they work on their laptops, they make money from various bits and pieces around the world, but they can live here, okay? They can't get a visa long term because they don't qualify for a retirement visa. When I worked for a hotel chain, they got the work permit for me. You know, I was 31 when I arrived here the first time in Thailand. I'm 63 now. I arrived here when I was 31 and it was all done for me. I lived in the hotel. I could use a coffee shop and get my laundry done, and they got my visas. I didn't have to do anything except work in the hotel, right? But there's a lot of guys here who are kind of like 30 to 45 and they live here. And the way around it, and this is what they're cracking down on, what they do, you can actually get a visa if you do voluntary work, for instance, or some kind of teaching, but you've got to be doing it. And what they say is you've got to do at least sort of 15 hours a week or something like that. So what these guys do, they register with some charities, but they don't do the work. And that's what the police are actually cracking down on. And so the other thing is, you know, for YouTube, it doesn't really count because I don't make money in Thailand from YouTube. Okay, my YouTube channel is registered in Thailand. Okay, I pay tax in Thailand, but I don't. Any revenue doesn't come into Thailand. So, you know, to be working, technically, you have to get a salary in Thailand. Okay, so I'm not working, so I don't at the moment. I don't need a work permit. Yeah, I'll have to knock on the head soon, guys. I can hear somebody walking about. I'm going to speak very, very quiet now. I hope you can hear me. Hang on. Yeah, but in answer to your question, you say, why don't you do wildlife tours? If people came here and I did tours, then I would be working, and there's every chance I would get arrested and deported. So I don't want to do that. Okay, look, guys, so there's somebody walking about upstairs. Their Thai's upstairs. I don't want to upset them. I'm going to say thank you to, let me just get rid of that. I want to say thank you to everybody who gave us super chat. Very generous. Thank you very much. I always do tell you I do appreciate. I want to say thank you to Franco and Damon for doing the moderating tonight. I want to thank all you guys for watching me rather than go to watch the football, the soccer. And I will be back next Sunday with another stream, but I'll do it from the room again next Sunday, okay? If I go down to Pattaya on Thursday, I haven't yet made up my mind, but what I'll do a live stream from the beach, something like that, because normally I can get those, you know, those girls who do the umbrellas in the video, and it's quite fun, you know. But we have made contact up there, so Thais, they generally sleep early, so I think it's been a good stream. It's 2 hours, so I think we'll knock it on the head now and not get in any trouble. So thanks to everyone, and I'll be back next Sunday, but perhaps Friday or Saturday from Pattaya. Let's see. Okay, good night, guys. Thank you very much.
Just